Welcome back to the Cap Rack. My name is Tyler Blumenstick, joined by Sam Meehan. This is your Saturday, January 30th episode of the Cap Rack. We got 9 college basketball picks for you today. The model so far this year is up 2.5% ROI. If you're betting $100 units, that's $2,100. Against the spread, it's pretty much all of that, $2,100 and $29 up on the total. Sam, what's up? How you doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. I'm just excited for this full day of college basketball.
It's
It's
going to
gonna
be
be
good.
great,
There's a
great
lot of good
Saturday.
games.
A lot of fun. Out of conference matchups too with the SEC Big 12 Challenge this weekend.
Exactly. What do we have earlier in the year? We have the Big Ten SEC
Yeah,
Challenge.
yeah. There's the ACC Big 10 too. So there's a lot of fun, like cross conference in the Power Five.
Lots of fun. Lots of betting too. All right, let's
Oh
kick
yeah.
this off. 2 o'clock p.m. Florida visiting West Virginia. The line is West Virginia minus 5.5 or 6 rather. Sorry, 5.5. Total set at 147. Models projecting a 77 to 71 West Virginia win. So with the spread of 5.5, we got 0.77 points of edge here on the total. And let me preface this real quick. The reason we're doing this, we're doing a little experiment. Not really an experiment because we have the stats to back it up, but when the predicted edge is between 0 and 1, both betting the favorite and the underdog, we are 57 and 21. So around 75% there, which is interesting. A little less than 75%. 21 and 5 of that is on the favorite, and 36 and 16 of that is on the underdog. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to see if we can start getting winners, more consistent, I guess, published winners. We're getting the winners on the
Yeah.
model, but it's just like pick-wise, I don't know. So we're going between 0 and 1 on the edge here. West Virginia is 0.77 points of edge there. Sam, what do you think?
Well, this West Virginia team impressed the hell out of me this past week when they broke my heart against Texas Tech on what was that Tuesday or Wednesday night of this past week, and they have a lot more firepower than you normally come to expect from this West Virginia team. They're not the normal like press Virginia where they're going to make life hell, but where they lack is the scoring. They can still score, and what they proved, but they don't have to do it all game. They can still turn up that pressure and make life uncomfortable for opposing offenses. And Florida is playing better of late. They had a very big win against Tennessee, but I still think the special team is just much more talented than the Florida team, and giving that little home edge too. I love this. Love the Mountaineers here.
I totally agree. Alrighty, so we're going to book West Virginia minus 5.5 there. We're going to keep this rolling today because a lot of games to get through, and this is a
Yeah,
10-minute
no, we gotta be
episode.
real quick.
We got to be like 3 minutes through already, so whatever. Doesn't matter.
Might be a little
What
longer.
next game is 3 o'clock. It's Wisconsin at Penn State. The line is Wisconsin minus 3. Total set at 138. We like a 70 to 67 Wisconsin win here. 0.78 points of edge there on the total or on the spread. Wisconsin's a good team. I feel like they've kind of flown under the radar a little bit as of late, but Penn State is not good.
Yeah, no, this is a far too small of a spread here. Might cause some concern. Like, oh, why is this small? Like, yeah, because Penn State's home. They've had a couple good games of late. They beat Rutgers, I think, a week or two ago. But it just is what Wisconsin team should not have a problem with Penn State at all. Keyword is should not, but it'll probably be closer than it should be. But it should definitely hit that -3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at injuries and like key players out here. Nobody on either side. So Wisconsin's a deeper team. They're 9-8 against the spread. Penn State 6-6, 2-4 at home. Wisconsin 3-2 on the road against the number. So yeah, Wisconsin's a much better team. I don't understand this much. So
We'll see tomorrow, I guess, or
we will
today, I
see.
should say.
All right. So the next game is deviating away from our little thing here. It's at 4 p.m. It's Auburn versus Baylor. The spread is 14.5. Spread or total at 156. We're seeing a 71 to 90 Baylor win at home against Auburn. Now, I want to preface this. Auburn is very talented. However, they're on the road, and Baylor is a lot more talented. We're getting 4.64 points of edge, so this would have been normally a good play. I mean, based on the way the model is built, this should be like a play for today, but we both just like this way too much not to include.
Yeah, no, I know we were going with the under one edge today, but this was. Did you see what Baylor's doing to other teams? Like, I don't care who it is, they're like up by 25 before you can even blink. It's incredible. This team
It
is
is crazy.
is just a well-oiled machine. Defensively, offensively, they're elite, and almost every aspect of the game.
100%. You mentioned they're absolutely destroying people. Their last couple games, 107-59 against Kansas State, 81-66 against a good Oklahoma State team, with probably one of the better players in the country. And
And they were down in that game like in the second half, and they're like, "Oh wait, we should probably win this," and bang, just snapped and cover that 8 points. I think that was last Saturday.
yeah, and that was on the road. I mean, you look at home, they
Yeah,
beat a good coached Kansas, or well-coached Kansas team, 77-69. They beat Texas Tech by 8. So they're beating good programs by decent margins. And now you play an Auburn team 5-4 against the number on the road. However, let's run through their last couple of games here. On the road, we have a win at South Carolina, SEC team. A loss on the road at Arkansas. A win at Georgia, SEC team. Ole Miss, solid team, a loss on the road. Texas A&M, pretty solid, SEC team, loss on the road. And that was it. They haven't really been tested against a good team on the road, and I feel like Baylor's going to just blow
Baylor's
them
going to
out of the
blow the
water.
doors off.
They should. All right, so we're going to go Baylor minus 14.5 there. Next game is going to be at 4 o'clock also. It's UCF at Wichita State. For this one, the spread is 6 in favor of Wichita State. Total set at 134.5. We're looking at a 68-62 Wichita State win. So 0.15 points of edge there. It's scary saying that, but this is a play.
Yeah, UCF's kind of sliding recently. They lost 4 of the last 5, and Wichita's finding their groove outside of that past performance against Memphis. But they're starting to figure it out more and more. So they're just a better team. They're at home. Like, why not? Seems like a great play here.
I agree. I mean, UCF in the beginning of the year, they kind of came out looking like a team that we're going to want to bet on because Vegas isn't giving them much respect, but they've kind of played themselves out of getting that respect. 1-4 against the spread on the road. Wichita State is 6-3-1 against the spread total. So let's ride with it. Let's see what happens. Next game of the day is going to be at 5 o'clock. It's Toledo at Bowling Green. Toledo are 3-point favorites on the road. We like a 77-74 Toledo win, 0.06 points of edge. So nailing this right on the button, but the model does like when we bet on Toledo, coming out at about 75% when we pick Toledo. So statistics to back it up. Model doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it's consistent, we like that. Why do we like this game, Sam?
Well, both teams can really light it up from anywhere on the floor. It's just Toledo has a slight edge defensively. I think in this game, both teams are top of. I'm not sure what conference it is. Is it the MAC?
It's the MAC.
It's the MAC. Yeah, that's right. Obviously, Toledo, like they're both two probably those top 4 teams in the MAC. But Toledo, I think, is the alpha of all of them. So I think they come out in a big win on the road here against Bowling Green. Big in conference game for them.
I agree. And here, I'm going to blow you out of the water real quick. And for our viewers / listeners, Toledo 14-4 against the spread, 8-2 on the road, 10-3 as a favorite.
Wow.
4-1 as a road favorite, 3-0 versus teams that win between 50 and 65% of their games, 6-2 against the spread against teams allowing greater than 72 points per game. Toledo can score the basketball. That's one thing.
Toledo screams 10 seed that makes a Sweet 16 in the tournament.
100. I agree. It's a tough MAC division though. Like the top of that is kind of cluttered and you can't really differentiate much, but Toledo can score and that kind of proves well. So Toledo -3 on the road at Bowling Green. We're going to move on to 5:30 p.m. Xavier at Butler. Xavier are 2-point favorites on the road. We have 132.5 on the total. Let's see what the model prediction is. 70-68 in favor of Xavier, 0.86 points of edge. It says 70-68, but with rounding, it's 2.86 points of margin there. Sam, what do we got? Big East basketball right here.
Butler, bad. Xavier, good. So, I mean, this Butler has not been impressive to me at all this year. Like, they just got beat up by UConn. They had an impressive performance. They came close to, I think it was Creighton. But Xavier, another 10-2, only 2 losses came to Seton Hall and Creighton. Back-to-back games, but they've been taking care of business everywhere else besides those 2 matchups. And there's some more talented team. They should, on the road, definitely be a tough matchup in a good Big East conference. But I like Xavier to come out on top.
Totally. 7-5 against the spread for Xavier, 5-8 for Butler. Xavier 2-0 against the spread on the road, 3-3 at home for Butler. So statistics once again back it up. We like that.
Oh yeah.
Next game of the day, 6 p.m. Big game. Virginia at Virginia Tech.
Don't you think I'm excited for
UVA.
this one?
How could you not be excited for this game? UVA 4.5-point favorites, 124 on the total. We like 64-61 Virginia win, but given the fact that Virginia Tech is getting 4.5 points, with a margin of 3.6 differential in the score, we like Virginia Tech by 0.85 against the spread. Sam, take us home. This is the school. This is the one you love. So
Yeah,
about it.
so Tech UVA has been a bunch of great matchups in the past, I guess, 5-6 years that Tech has been like, really jumped out to be like a legitimately solid basketball program in the ACC. And they tend to play UVA very well. Like, I think 4 of their last 6 matchups have been decided by less than 10, but I think even less than 6 was the biggest one, besides a few blowouts going UVA's way, but we're not going to talk about that. But this is the best Tech team that I've seen, and it's not the top, not the best UVA team I've seen, but granted, UVA's best team. They're still national champions right now. VT can score the ball, but the big difference is between past years they can defend now too, and they can just secure the offensive glass. I like them to keep it close. I'm not going to say they're going to win. Obviously, pulling for them too, but I do think they can definitely keep this close within a possession.
I totally
have a
agree.
shot all the way down to the end.
Yeah,
They live and die by the 3. They died last week against Syracuse, and they're due to live this week, but through it.
There you go. They could definitely win this game. Virginia a little bit spotty. Virginia Tech at home, little favorable dog spot.
Tech by 30.
Last time we said Tech by 30, they actually did it. So I forget who it was. That was the lock of the day. Was it against Duke?
That was against Duke, where
30,
they didn't win by 30, but they went up 2-0 and did not go for the lead the entire game.
Exactly. That's why we like it. Next game of the day is going to be at 8 p.m. It's Creighton at DePaul. Creighton are 9.5-point favorites. We have 148.5 on the total. Model likes a 79-70 Creighton win. We're getting DePaul here against the spread with 0.4 points of edge as the play. A little scary, but the model pumped it out, so we're gonna ride with it.
I'm actually this one is one of my more favorite plays of today. Creighton doesn't cover at home. I'm sure they have a decent stat, but look at UConn last
time.
Oh, it is, yeah, even better.
DePaul,
9.5, 10-point home dog. That's too much in the Big East. DePaul can definitely score. I mean, what if they can defend or not? That's another question. But if you're a 10-point dog at home and you can score the ball, I'm going to pick you every time. Just enough. They want to defend their home course. They'll be coming out. They're going to be hitting shots. They're going to have good chemistry going. So, this Creighton team, as good as they are, they tend to play to their competition for a lot of the game and then go in little spurts. But I think DePaul will keep it single digits.
Alrighty. So there's that one. We have DePaul plus 9.5. Then we're going to move on to the last game of the day is Notre Dame at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, a very surprising team this year in the ACC. 8-4 this year. For this game, they're 3.5-point favorites at home against Notre Dame. 142.5 on the total. We like a 71-67 Pitt win. We're getting 0.32 points of edge on that. Sam, ACC matchup. Lowly Notre Dame team versus surging Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, this is another spread that I don't get why it's this small. Maybe it's because they're going more off brand. That in the past, Notre Dame's probably been a little better than Pitt, but just looking at this season, Notre Dame has struggled the entire season. They're really not a good basketball team. They got beat the hell out of by Tech in every aspect on, I think it was Wednesday night, just Tech, struggled to hit some shots sometimes. They still won by 15 or whatever it was. Pitt, coming off a tough loss against UNC where they were competing. At home, I think 3.5 points is easy for them.
I mean, it should be. I don't know.
Definitely should be, but it's obviously going to scare us for the whole game. But
I personally like this a lot. I think
I think this might be my favorite play of them all.
Yeah, look, North Carolina. You look at their last game. North Carolina is a lot more talented team than Notre Dame is, and better coached. And that was a 10-point game. At home, it's whatever. But you bring in a 5-9 Notre Dame team. See you later.
Yeah, when I saw the line, I'm like, all right, it's at Notre Dame. Maybe they'll keep it close. I'm like, Oh wait, no, this is at Pitt. There's no reason they should. I'm thinking more like 5 or 6 points for a good Pitt team. Champagne, however the hell you pronounce his
Yeah,
last
we
name.
botched that one.
Yeah, we botched it. I just botched it again. But we all know this guy. He is a bucket. He is a very good player for this Pitt team. Makes noise in the AC tournament and all that. So should be a fun game. But
Should be fun. Speaking of, all right, since we have a big college basketball episode here, I want to drop some news. Speaking of conference tournament play, I will be in Las Vegas during conference tournament play. I'm going for a baseball tournament, but I will be checking out the Vegas scene, obviously safe with COVID guidelines, of course. Mask on, checking out the sportsbook scene. I've never been to Vegas, so it should be interesting. I'm very excited.
Actually. I've always wanted to make a trip out there.
It's not the right time to go to Vegas because you can't experience Vegas.
Oh yeah,
the
no,
way
I'm
you're
gonna wait
supposed to
till I
experience
can,
it, but
enjoy Vegas as Vegas.
I'm going to be filming some content. I bought some new batteries for this stabilizing camera thingy I have an Osmo. It's pretty interesting. So we'll see what happens.
Can't wait for that.
Anyways, it should be good. Anyways, that is this Saturday's episode of the Cap Rack. 9 plays on college basketball through every single major conference pretty much. And the MAC. We're diving into some mid-majors as well.
Some action there, baby.
Some MACtion. Not the real MAC. This is a fraud MAC. I went to Monmouth. That's the MAAC.
The MAC.
The MAC. Okay. Let's end this. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Caps on Sports. Check on our website, www.capsonsports.com. Grab some merch. Sam and I are matching today. This is interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Saturday's episode of the Cap Rack. My name is Tyler Blumenstick, and as always, joined by Sam Meehan. We will see you sometime next week, probably Tuesday. See you later.